Are you intrigued by the unexpected twists in history? And if you are, then let's take a journey through time in exploring the mysteries behind snuff bottles. The story of snuff bottles begins in the mid-16th century when tobacco was first introduced to China by the Portuguese. But wait, smoking tobacco got banned during the Qing Dynasty. So what did the clever folks do? They switched to snuff. Snuff wasn't just any old tobacco, though. It was a powdered form. And guess what? It was considered medicinal. People believed it could cure colds, headaches, and even stomach problems. So they carried it in fancy little bottles, just like medicine. These bottles weren't just practical, they were tiny pieces of art. Made from materials like jade, porcelain, and even glass, snuff bottles became a fashion statement. Who knew that a simple ban on smoking could lead to such an elegant solution? And that's how snuff bottles became an everyday essential in the Qing Dynasty. Pretty snuff-tastic, right? Alright, history buffs, let's dive into Chapter 2, the cultural inclusivity, where the East interacts with the West. The story of snuff bottles is not just about the objects themselves, but a fascinating tale of cultural fusion. Around the mid to late 17th century, the Chinese began crafting these intricate little bottles. Why? Because the habit of inhaling ground-up tobacco was introduced by the Portuguese to the Kangxi Emperor in mid-16th century, the second ruler of the Qing Dynasty. He's widely credited with popularizing snuff bottles in China. So how did this happen? Legend has it that Jesuit missionaries, looking to gain access to the Forbidden City, presented Kangxi with an elaborate snuff box. Imagine the scene: a beautifully crafted box handed over with the hope of impressing the emperor. And guess what? It worked. Kangxi was pleased with the gift. However, there was a problem. China's humid climate caused the snuff to clump up in the loosely sealed box. Not ideal. So Kangxi had a bright idea. He suggested decanting the snuff into traditional Chinese medicine bottles. These were designed to keep their contents dry and fresh. Kangxi didn't just stop there. He commissioned delicately handcrafted versions of these bottles for himself and his inner circle in his court. Imagine the artistry: tiny bottles made of glass, porcelain, jade, and other precious materials. By embracing snuff-taking, the Chinese people were, in a way, renouncing their isolationist policy. They started adopting a more open attitude towards Western culture. Think about it. Something as simple as inhaling tobacco became a bridge between East and West. Snuff bottles, these tiny vessels, became symbols of a larger cultural exchange. They are a testament to how two very different cultures can come together and create something unique. So next time you see a snuff bottle, remember, it's not just a container for tobacco. It's a piece of history, a symbol of cultural inclusivity, and a reminder of how the East and West began to interact centuries ago. Now, as we move on, let's talk about the ever-evolving techniques in crafting a snuff bottle using myriad of different materials in this chapter. The artistry of 18th century snuff bottles is immediately evident in the sheer diversity of materials employed. Jade, with its long history of significance in Chinese culture, was a prized material for snuff bottles. Porcelain, another hallmark of Chinese craftsmanship, offered a smooth, white canvas for delicate paintings. Master painters used fine brushes to render intricate scenes, often depicting landscapes, flowers, or auspicious symbols. Glass, introduced to China through Western trade, brought a new dimension to snuff bottle artistry. Burnishing, a technique of polishing the surface to a high sheen, was used to enhance the natural beauty of materials like jade and glass. The creation of 18th century snuff bottles was not solely a Chinese endeavor. The influx of Western traders and missionaries brought with it new materials, techniques, and artistic ideas that Chinese craftsmen eagerly embraced. European glassmaking techniques, for instance, had a profound impact on Chinese glassmaking. The introduction of enamel, a vitreous substance fused to metal, opened up new avenues for decoration. European enamel craftsmen, employed in the imperial workshops, shared their expertise with Chinese craftsmen, leading to the creation of exquisite enamel-decorated snuff bottles. This blending of styles reflected the dynamic cultural exchange taking place in 18th century China. As we proceed further, let's talk about Chapter 4, which is Symbolism, in intricate snuff bottle decorations and decoding common snuff bottle motifs, many symbols were used on snuff bottles. Each symbol had a special meaning. Horses, for example, represented strength and success. Fish were another popular motif. They symbolized wealth and abundance. Fish were often depicted in pairs. This represented harmony and a happy marriage. Bamboo was a symbol of resilience and longevity. It could bend in the wind but never break. This made it a symbol of strength and flexibility. Each symbol added a layer of meaning to these beautiful objects. Now let's talk about Lohan and their auspicious presence. The 18 Lohan were important figures in Buddhism. They were disciples of Buddha. They achieved enlightenment. Their purpose was to guide and protect others. Each Lohan had unique characteristics and powers. They symbolized wisdom, strength, and good fortune. The presence of the Lohan on a snuff bottle added a spiritual dimension. It also brought the blessings of these enlightened beings to the owner. Let's delve into Chapter 5, the $3.3 million snuff bottle. Astoundingly, a record-breaking auction. Why do 85% of collectors dream of owning a piece of history? Because sometimes it's not just about the past, but the astounding stories it tells today. Imagine a snuff bottle so exquisite, it fetched $3.3 million at auction. That's right, this familiar rose enamel glass wonder from the Imperial Qianlong Palace workshops just set a new world record. Crafted in the early 17th century, this European subject snuff bottle stands a mere 3 inches high. Yet its intricate design and historical significance have dazzled collectors worldwide. Picture this, a tiny masterpiece, meticulously created in the heart of Beijing during Emperor Qianlong's reign. It's more than just an antique, it's a testament to unparalleled craftsmanship and artistic vision. So the next time you see a petite piece of history, remember it might just be a record breaker in disguise, just like this familiar rose enamel snuff bottle that fetched an astounding $3.3 million at auction, breaking all previous records. As we conclude with our Chapter 7, let us talk about the rise and fall of the prolonged and cherished era of snuff bottles. By the 1880s, a major shift was underway in Asia. Farmers had started to grow tobacco locally, which caused a dramatic drop in its cost. This newfound affordability meant that snuff was no longer just for the elite and the imperial court. It spread like wildfire throughout the empire. Suddenly, snuff bottles were everywhere. Cheap and even disposable versions flooded the market, making the once exclusive habit accessible to the general population. However, as we moved from the Qing Dynasty to the Republic era, snuff began to fall out of fashion. The modern habits of smoking cigarettes and pipes took over, pushing snuff into the shadows of history. But here's where it gets interesting. Snuff bottles didn't just disappear. They transformed into valuable collectibles. Today, connoisseurs from around the world seek out these intricate little pieces of history. The most elaborate snuff bottles, once the prized possessions of royals and the elite, are still highly sought after by collectors all across the world. Qing Dynasty snuff bottles, in particular, commands a premium. They sell at auctions for millions of dollars and are displayed in museums across the globe. Think about that for a moment. These tiny containers, once symbols of opulence and status, are now revered as historical treasures. They are as valuable as gems from a bygone era, admired for their elegance and beauty. Each snuff bottle tells a story of craftsmanship, of cultural shifts, and of the changing tides of history. So next time you see a snuff bottle, remember its journey. From the lavish hands of royalty to the collections of modern-day enthusiasts, these little bottles have traveled through time, carrying with them the essence of an era. And that, my friends, is the captivating tale of snuff bottles. Thanks for joining me on this historical ride. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more intriguing stories from the past. Until next time, keep exploring history's hidden treasures. And I hope all the viewers enjoyed it to the fullest. And if you want any special topic for us to cover, then do mention it in the comment section and we would be delighted to be at your service. And you all have a good one. Regards from Robin and Ray. And until next time, stay tuned in and we will get back with more amazing snaps from the fascinating chapters of history. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time. Stay curious and keep exploring the fascinating stories of our past.